Hello everybody, and a warm welcome to Berringer, and I have a layout update for you and a special new addition also to my layout. So without further ado, I will get on and with the layout update. And so here we are at the Offered on the Hill station, and those of you who watch me regularly know this is fairly recent. But basically I've been doing a series of Let's Get Together, which is carrying on from that theme, and I've basically been trying to link the back wall together. So we start at the Offered the New Shot section, so this is Offered on the Hill, and we've now made a start on the New Shot section. So this is where we're at. Nothing's been actually done really. It's just a case of distinguishing the sky from the ground really, and that's just basically just tidying it up and just prepping it really for when I get the track together for it. And if you just forget that point for the minute, it's basically going to be a single line from Offered on the Hill to about here, and we're looking at a freeway point, and then one will go off to the unloading bay, which it will be along here for some freight, and then the middle line will go all the way down to the end, and the third line, which will come across, will also go all the way down to the end, where there will be a station platform just on one side. And the idea is that the freight can be brought in along the first line. The loco can either be removed from its freight, reversed back down the passing loop, then pick it up from the other end and then reverse it into the unloading area. That's the sort of plan, and then obviously the passenger workings are self-explanatory, and that will be the final terminating point for this end of the flat, I promise you. And that will be the New Shot section. New Shot station will be down there, and then obviously that will lead on to Offered on the Hill. Like I said, we have the pond, which I've done. My mum came over the other day and saw this. She said, "Oh well, what about the ducks?" So I'll have to get some ducks or something for this section. Okay, this leads me on to the next part of which I've been doing, which is towards linking it all up, and I'm just going to show you that I have found through YouTube some very wonderful people and made some wonderful friends along the way, and none more so than Graham at Lakeside, and he's kindly given me this wonderful little signal box, which only arrived this very morning, yesterday morning I should add, and I didn't really have a chance to really deal with it yesterday, and I wanted to sort of do it as part of the update to show how it's all going to work. And it was a little something that I saw in one of his videos, and I'd mentioned to him, "Oh, where did you get it from?" or something like that, and he's kindly decided to give it to me, and I'm just so absolutely over the moon as it sits perfectly. I was a bit concerned about the size that I had. If I just show you, it's not the biggest signal box in the world, but I didn't have the biggest space, so I didn't really want to go for a huge signal box to put in here, because I didn't think it would fit, and I was a bit concerned about it. And it looks absolutely amazing, and I'm so happy with it, and it takes pride of place on my layout, and I'd like to thank him for doing that for me, because it's just such an amazing thing to do. And I've got a little piece of Lakeside on my layout, and if you haven't checked out his channel, please do, because it's just a really great watch and you'll learn a lot from Graham. The track obviously in front of you then leads off around the corner to Offered on the Hill, and you can just see that right like that. And now what I've decided to do is this corner section, which has been bugging me for some time now, has now we started to deal with it. As you can tell by my two transits, it's going to be a loading building, and this is going to be done in the same way as my bus station in terms of how it's built. And basically this is just a scrap piece of batten, and that just gives it the depth. The black has just been painted on the top just to represent the roof, and then it'll be clad in card, and then obviously I'll be cutting the apertures for the doors, windows and the loading bays through the card, and then cladding it to create the building. But this is just a first sort of fix of it, and if you just sort of pan it around, you can sort of see how the sky just sort of links together all the way down. And those of you who see my channel regularly will see that this was the area I'd been working on fairly recently, and that's kind of moved on, and now we're starting to sort of link it all together. Now the plan for this is this archway here is going to be the entrance for the vehicles coming in and out through some sort of coming into some sort of courtyard, so they will come in like that, and then obviously they'll park up and sort of offload into the bays here. But I have to work out where I'm going to put them and the swing of the vehicles, and obviously parking of the cars and all the rest of it, so I'm sort of seeing how that all works out. In this corner will probably be like a skip area and bins and things like that. Also, I've tried to link in the signal box with some added scenery along here, so just to sort of try and bed that in. And then the final bit that I've been doing this weekend is I've been sort of tackling the sort of hard standing area, the hard area. It's creating a bit of a concrete platform for my DMUs and all the rest of it's for the carriage sidings and all the rest of it. This is again made in the same way as the TMD, which is just card. I just find card easier to use, and it's less mess, and you don't have to wait for it to go off. It's just done and ready to do, so it's nice and easy. I'm debating whether or not there's going to be a building here, or whether I'm going to build a carriage building, so I'm not sure about that, but we shall see. Now here we are back at the bus station, and this is basically what I mean by how I'm going to build the industrial area, and it's in the same way as this. I mean, this is just a scrap piece of wood that's been left over, and it's just making the most out of all the wood and basically cladding it to give it the facade that it is a bus station, when really it's just scrap wood. But obviously it's got the illusion that it is a bus station. If I show you, I'll take you around the town scene in case you haven't seen it, in case you're new to my channel. Obviously you've got the station building here, got the cars down the street down here, the taxi rank just along here, the 424 waiting to go, and the bus RCL at the back is just pulling out to make a left turn. Here we have the NCP car park, and here we have the B&Q, and you just got a bit of street scene along here going on here. Then we've got the sandwich van and the bins, so we'll probably have some more of these recycling bins and stuff like that over at the other end in the industrial area. But if I just lift off B&Q, it gives me access to the rail track underneath. But if you look at it more closely, all it is just scrap wood put together and nailed and screwed in quite a crude fashion at the back, but obviously you don't really see that, and then it just gives that illusion that when you put it back, it actually is a B&Q, almost like magic. So that's sort of how the industrial unit is going to be looking in a similar sort of way. It's going to be done in that sort of low relief kind of way. So I'm still messing around with this. So anyway, that's kind of like the update for you. In terms of locos and everything, I haven't got anything new or anything to report at that end. But like I said, a big thank you to Graham, who's such a wonderful person, and his signal box that he's kind of given to me has now going to be taking pride of place. I don't know what to call it, whether I just call it offered signal box, or whether I call it offered junction, or whether or not it's, I don't know. So your thoughts. That'd be great if anyone has any suggestions on what's the best, more appropriately named way of naming it. And I'll speak to you all possibly next week, and hopefully the other end we would have made some progress with a bit of luck. So take care and enjoy your Sunday evening, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye for now.